From the very first moment Meghan stepped into royal life, the signs were all there. She wasn't here to quietly blend into the monarchy or bow to centuries of tradition. No, Meghan was here to make a statement. Loud, bold, and shocking. And nowhere was that clearer than on her royal wedding day. What should have been the happiest, most unifying moment for the royal family turned into a stage where Meghan exposed who she really was. 10 jaw-dropping moves proved she wasn't trying to fit in, she was rewriting the rules. And trust me, the 7th one will leave you speechless. Let's start with the slap scene around the world. Cameras captured Meghan in her gown, her heel caught for just a second, a moment where most brides would graciously accept help, but not Meghan. An elderly aide gently reached out to assist her, his hand steady, polite, kind. For a split second, it looked like a sweet royal moment. And then, bam! Meghan slapped his hand away, right there in front of everyone. The look she gave him, ice cold, and the poor man's face told the entire story. Stunned, embarrassed, like he couldn't believe he'd just been humiliated on live television. A gesture of kindness turned instantly into humiliation, while Meghan strutted forward as if nothing happened. No apology, no glance back, just icy dismissal. That was Meghan's message. She needed no help. Not from him, not from anyone. I need some help getting out. I got my dress caught in my heel. Get your hands off of me, you fool. And as if that wasn't enough, she carried that same controlling streak right into the reception. On your wedding day, food should be the least of your worries, right? Wrong. Meghan stormed into the kitchen, exploding at the staff because the food wasn't vegan enough. She reportedly claimed she could taste egg in one of the dishes and lost it. Instead of letting the day be about love and joy, she made it about control. Her control. Staff were shaken. Insiders whispered, because if she could treat people like that over a menu, just imagine what she was like when no cameras were rolling. And then there was the dress scandal. Royal brides have always shown their gowns to the Queen in advance, out of respect, out of tradition, out of gratitude. After all, it's the Queen footing the bill. But Meghan? She didn't bother. She refused to let the Queen see the gown beforehand. So when Her Majesty finally laid eyes on Meghan walking down the aisle, she was reportedly shocked. Insiders claim the Queen didn't like the gown at all, especially because it looked too white, considering Meghan was a divorcee. The disrespect was undeniable.
Well, I think it's sort of vaginal, isn't it? You're very pure and you haven't had lots of affairs or been married before or anything like that. And I think it's for the first marriage that you have as well, and I think she didn't like it.
That bold refusal wasn't just about a dress, it sent a deafening message. Meghan was going to do things her way, even if it meant ignoring the Queen herself. And what about the chapel? St. George's Chapel is drenched in history. It has seen centuries of royal weddings, christenings, even funerals. That old, musty scent is part of the tradition. But Meghan, she called it an old royal smell and demanded air fresheners be sprayed throughout the chapel. Staff were livid. To them, it wasn't about smell, it was about respect. And Meghan had just insulted the very heart of the royal institution. Now let's talk seating. At royal weddings, senior royals always sit front and center. That's the rule. That's the hierarchy. But Meghan, she tossed centuries of protocol aside. Instead of giving royals their rightful place, she planted her Hollywood friends right in the front rows. Famous actors, TV hosts, they were all in prime spots while royals were quietly shuffled to the back. It was blatant. Meghan's loyalty wasn't to the crown, it was to Hollywood. And if that wasn't enough, Meghan's grip over the guest list raised even more eyebrows. She reportedly pushed Harry to cut out several of his old friends, including military companions who had stood by him in Afghanistan. These men had fought beside him, risked their lives, shared his darkest days, and yet they were suddenly left off the list. Even Harry's best friend wasn't invited, apparently because he dared to say Harry had changed since meeting Meghan. Whether Meghan directly pulled those strings or not, the outcome was the same. Harry's world was shrinking and Meghan was the one tightening the circle. But perhaps the clearest sign of all came with the children, specifically Princess Charlotte. Little Charlotte walked into that chapel, but Meghan's glare cut sharper than any sword. Witnesses claim Meghan shot the child a chilling death stare, and it wasn't just what we saw on camera. Behind the scenes, things were reportedly worse. Parents complained that the bridesmaids' shoes hurt the children's feet. The obvious solution? Socks or tights. But Meghan flatly refused. She wouldn't budge. It got so bad, Charlotte was allegedly pulled from dress fittings altogether, forcing seamstresses to use another child's measurements instead. No wonder her dress didn't fit on the big day.
Allegedly burst into tears after Meghan Markle compared Princess Charlotte unfavourably to her best friend Jessica Mulroney's daughter, during a bridesmaid fitting ahead of the royal wedding. Oh dear. According
At this point, the fairy tale was crumbling fast. Weddings are supposed to bring families together, but Meghan, she turned that tradition on its head. Apart from her mother, Doria, not a single relative was there. No father, no siblings, no cousins. She stood alone, cold, defiant, calculated. On such a global stage, it looked less like a wedding and more like a performance. Who cuts out their entire family on the most important day of their life? Meghan did. And to many watching, it screamed. If she could ice out her own blood this easily, what chance did the royal family ever stand?
Markle and Prince Harry's royal wedding invitations have been sent out.
And then came the father scandal. Meghan was too proud, too stubborn, too angry to reconcile with her father. Instead, she let Prince Charles step in and walk her halfway down the aisle. Think about that. Her father's honor stripped away, another man forced to take his place. But Meghan's twist didn't stop there. Insiders revealed that she only allowed Charles to walk her halfway, insisting she would complete the rest of the walk alone. Alone. It wasn't about independence. It was about ego. Meghan wanted to send a message. She didn't need anyone's help, not even on the most traditional walk a bride could ever take. It was pure theater, her way of declaring power. And then came the flowers. Meghan insisted her bouquet include forget-me-nots, Princess Diana's favorite flower. On the surface, it looked like a sweet tribute to Harry's late mother, but critics were quick to point out the darker side. Was it really about honoring Diana, or was it about hijacking her memory to gain sympathy? Insiders claimed Meghan clashed with the florist over her demand, fueling speculation that it wasn't about sentiment at all. It was about narrative. Meghan's narrative. Every detail of that wedding had to be about her, and this was no exception.
She was the sort of quintessential kind of English rose, but also white forget-me-nots were a big part. And I think you're going to see...
So now the question is, which of these jaw-dropping moments shocked you the most? Was it the slap, the food fight, the dress snub, or maybe the way she cut her family out like they never existed? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explosive royal gossip. Because if Meghan's wedding day revealed this much, just imagine what came next.